Guys, magandang araw sa inyong lahat. So, i-feature ko po sa inyo yung nagawang bagay na napaka-importante sa magsasaka, yung Masagana 99. Noong panahon pa ni former President Ferdinand Edralin Marcos Sr. So, ito yung Masagana 99 na lubos na nakatulong sa ating mga magsasaka nung araw. Kung hindi nyo inabot yon, inabot ko yun, pero bata pa rin ako noon. Siguro, elementary ko noon. Pero, napakaganda po. Napakalaking tulong ito sa ating mga magsasaka nung araw. So, hindi ko po ito paliliwanag. Ito po ay ating ibibidyo ngayon para lubos nyong maunawaan. So ito, naisip ni former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte na gusto niyang kunin yung idea ni former President Ferdinand R. Marcos. So, tunghayan po natin, guys.
Gusto ko lang kunin yung idea ni Marcos. Malayo na yung biyayang dagat, pati Masagana 99. Ibalik ko yon. Kukopyahin ko.
President Duterte said this when he visited Tuguegarao City after Typhoon Lawin battered the area. Masagana 99 was an agricultural program of the late President Ferdinand Marcos in the 1970s aimed to boost the country's rice production. Masagana is a Filipino term that means bountiful. The number 99 in Masagana 99 refers to the number of sacks of rice yielded per hectare of land in every harvest. Mr. Duterte believes the Masagana 99 model can help the Philippines attain self-sufficiency in rice production. But the group Masipag, whose members are farmers and scientists, are against the revival of this program. They say it will only bring up old problems like debt, replacement of traditional rice varieties by modern grains, and the use of pesticides that can harm farmers, animals, and crops. They add instead of farmers, only big companies profited from the program. The farmers group is open to a dialogue with the Agriculture Department.
Ang kita sa pagsasaka ay napunta sa mga agricultural transnational corporation at hindi sa mga magsasaka.
The Department of Agriculture clarifies the President's statement.
When the President said that he wanted to replicate Masagana 99, he was talking about the concept of government supporting rice farmers to be able to attain rice sufficiency. That was the meaning of the statement of the President. Because even if we want to, we cannot copy Masagana 99 anymore.
The DA explains the grain used in the 70s is no longer available, but the Masagana 99 paradigm, though still a concept for now, is flexible enough to use other grain varieties. In terms of target yield, the Duterte administration looks at a possible harvest of 10 to 12 metric tons of rice per hectare compared to the original program's 4.9. Even the pesticides that will be used this time are environment and eco-friendly. The department hopes the public will see the positive impact and benefit it will have on Filipino farmers and the country's rice production. Bettina Magsaysay.
So, yun guys, di ba? Gustong ibalik ni former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte yung Masagana 99. Yung idea ng Masagana 99, gusto niyang ibalik. Kasi nakita niya at alam niya na nakatulong ito sa mga maliliit nating magsasaka nung araw, nung 1970s pa. So, ewan ko lang, kasi nung panahon niya, ang daming humarang guys, na matupad tong idea ni former President Ferdinand Edralin Marcos Sr., itong Masagana 99. So, pinilit pa rin niya na matupad ito at ibigay sa mga malilit na magsasaka. Pero may mga bumatikos mayroong mga nag-oppose na yung matatandang mga magsasaka na nabiyayaan sila ng Masagana 99 pero hinarang nila. Kaya nakakalungkot guys. Ang nangyari, hindi natupad. Pero ngayon, pinanunukala uli ni Presidente, sitting President Bongbong Romualdez Marcos Jr. na ituloy ang Masagana 99. So, tunghayan natin guys. Kasi maganda talaga to. Ngayon, titignan lang natin kung ano-ano yung yung mga sitwasyon at yung kung gagayahin niya talaga ng purong-puro yung ginawa ng kanyang ama. Tunghayan natin guys. So, ituloy natin guys. Tingnan natin kung ano yung mga frameworks o yung mga step-by-step na procedure kung paano tong bagong Masagana 99. So, tunghayan natin guys.
So Masagana 99. It was a program that was praised by President Marcos and his sister Amy, but also criticized for its failure to implement a sustainable credit program for farmers. Lots of banks were left bankrupt while farmers were left in debt. But at the same time, for a while, it was able to increase production of rice. So President Marcos has spoken of reviving this program, but in a different form. Something proposed by the last Agriculture Secretary, si William Dar, talking about Masagana 126, 150. And so in what are the updates to this? Has President Marcos taken steps to implement this? How different or similar will it be to the Masagana 99 of his father?
Well, the Masagana 150 is about increasing the yield. No, we are pushing that for every hectare there will be 150 kabans produced. So that is in the part of the marching order about how to increase the yield of our farmers. It is still being thoroughly discussed because now we have ACPC, the Agricultural Credit Policy Council. Even before, it has been giving loans to our farmers at zero interest. And I think there's a way now that it also involves rural banks also to ensure that the loans are being paid, and it is also something with the terms that is realistic based on our stakeholders. If you think about it, our stakeholders, most of them will have a difficult time getting a loan from a commercial bank. That is where ACPC comes in. And we have programs. We have a loan program for the youth. We have loan program for farmers with startup capitals and all that. So at least the credit side is being addressed. And should we do the Masagana 150, we have to make sure that the things that were not addressed before will now be given into consideration to make sure that sustainability, that's important. We cannot start something and not be sustainable. So that is part of our recommendation as well.
Will the Masagana 150 involve also combining high-yielding seeds for rice with fertilizer? Because I think that was also another aspect of Masagana 99, which led to high production, but also was criticized because daw parang it made the farmers dependent on a certain type of fertilizer, a certain type of variety of seeds. So will that aspect also be in Masagana 150?
The type of seeds and the fertilizers is being studied by our rice group, no? Because again, sustainability is very important, and accessibility to these seeds and fertilizers as well. It also would be entailing good irrigation, because that is something that's very important when you talk of production. So there's a lot of factors involved in producing. And it's not just the type of the variety of the seeds, but definitely even mechanization is also part of the plan, the operational plan. I think that will be discussed soon with the details, and we'll let you know.
Okay, so far Masagana 150 is just a recommendation.
Yes.
Hindi pa
Yes.
siya, President Marcos hasn't greenlit it.
Yes, because we are working on the details, and the operational plan is very important, because even if we have the framework, the details on how it's going to be implemented will also mean specifying if there are certain budget allocations that would be needed, and at the same time, the timelines can be well defined. So right now, what we're working on, not only on Masagana 150, but all the other programs, when we talk about strengthening the existing programs, is an operational plan.
So, yun guys. Ini-interview nga siya dito kung ano yung mga frameworks, kung ano yung mga details na kailangan i-upgrade doon sa binabalik nilang Masagana 99. Kopyahin na lang nila yung kay Ferdinand Edralin Marcos Sr., yung ating butihing presidente nung nakaraan. Kasi Ako, elementary pa ako, narinig ko na yan talaga. Napakaganda po at maraming natulungan. At kung maalala nyo guys, yung mga mas nakakatanda sa akin, yung nagkaroon kasi ng ng issue sa rice eh. Talagang nagkawalaan ng rice. So, ang ginawa nitong ating butihing presidente Ferdinand Marcos Sr., yung matanda, na tatay nitong si sitting President Bongbong Marcos, maganda naman po, maganda. Marami natulungan talaga at hindi tayo nagkaroon ng pagkakawala o shortage ng rice, ng bigas. Wala po. Hindi po nagkaroon ng ganun. At nung araw guys, walang kilo. Salop. Puro salop tayo nung araw. So, talagang malaking bagay po. Umakyat po ang ating production index ng bigas nagsimula nung 1980s pataas. So, medyo may ano na ako, may alam na ako nun. Nakakaintindi na ako tungkol sa mga ganyang bagay na aktual na nararanasan ng mamayang Pilipino nun dito sa Pilipinas, yung nawala yung rice shortage kasi gawa nga niyang masagana 99 at meron pa nga yun yung Green Revolution nung araw kay Presidente Marcos noon. So wag na sanang harangin pa ng iba kaysa naman sa ang budget ay mapupunta sa bulsa ng mga politikong korap. Wala pa akong pinatutukuyan pero alam nyo naman yan. Alam nyo talaga maraming korap na opisyal ng sa gobyerno natin. Marami talaga. Kaysa may bulsa, itulong na lang natin sa ating mga maliliit na magsasaka. Yung pautangin sila ng zero interest at para magporsige sila para magkaroon ng rice production. Napakahirap po ng yung merong mga, ikokorap lang yan ng gobyerno, gano'n. Hindi eh. Itutulong nga yan sa ating maliliit na magsasaka. Kailangan lang natin bantayan kung papaano ipauutang sa ating maliliit na magsasaka yung pera para dyan sa Masagana 99. So, ituloy natin guys. At maganda to. Promise guys. Maganda itong mga panukalang Masagana 99. Kung kokopyahin lang nila yung mga ginawa ng ating butihing Presidente Ferdinand Edralin Marcos Sr. So, ituloy po natin guys. Yan. So, dito naman guys, matutunghayan nyo yung healthy discussion nila nung si former Secretary Carlos Dominguez at itong ating butihing Senadora Marcos, si Senadora Amy Marcos, yung kanilang healthy discussion together with former Secretary Carlos Dominguez. Kung ano yung mga nangyayari sa hinaharap, yung real talk nila. So, napakaganda po ng kanilang mga diskusyon dito para sa kagaganda ng Masagana 99. So, tunghayan natin guys ang kanilang healthy discussion together with former Secretary Carlos Dominguez at itong ating sitting Senator Amy Marcos.
Sa practical lang po, wala naman nagpapautang na bangko kung hindi sa may pera. So, paano naman po yung nahihirap na wala naman access? Alam po natin, pati si Presidente galit na galit sa land bank noon, sa SONA, na magpiklog na sila kasi hindi naman nila tinutulungan ng magsasaka. So, baka hindi rin umabot yung sinasabi natin na 600 plus billion, 673 billion yata.
Ito po yun guys, nangyari ng 2020.
Aabot yan sa mga bukirin at kasulog-sulugan ng kapungan.
At pinaglalaban ni Amy Marcos at saka si Presidente Duterte yung Masagana 99.
Essentially as wholesale bank. And we are going to require
Marami kasing humaharang noon.
Act as the rediscounting agents for the small and medium-sized banks and microfinance organizations. That is the most efficient way of getting the money out to the countryside to revive the economy.
Yes, we look forward to that po. During Masagana 99 in the 70s, there was a very effective use of commercial banks, rural banks, and even cooperative banks. And I believe that scheme would truly work. However, perhaps we could consider enlarging the national government stake even in that regard. Second question po.
Ma'am, before we go ahead,
Yes.
you mentioned Masagana 99.
Opo.
Secretary of Agriculture that cleaned up the mess of Masagana 99 that was left by Masagana 99. There were about 800 rural banks that were bankrupted by that program, and we had to rescue them. So whether it was a total success or not has to be measured against that.
Well, the success po perhaps was not in banking, it was certainly in rice exportation. So,
No, we
palagay
never
ko,
exported rice. We never exported rice, ma'am.
I prefer to stick to the finance data for now po.
Yan, medyo
But in the meantime,
nagkakainit ang akal ng diskusyon.
tsaka na lang po tayo mag-diskusyon. Pero certainly, we are concerned that this will not reach the poorest of the poor, the most vulnerable, at ang pinakamahihirap. Ikalawa na,
No, I'm sorry, ma'am. Our
Yes, po.
first part of our program, we've spent 256 billion pesos, and I'm certain that reached the poorest of the poor. Our program through DSWD and through SSS reached the informal sector, 18 million families at least, plus 3.4 million employees of the small
On that
and medium
time,
enterprises.
Department of
Now, we
Finance to
assume
si
that starting
Secretary
June,
Carlos
that
Dominguez.
we will begin opening the economy, and that people will start again working and earning money, and that the economy will start picking up by the second half of this year.
Yun guys, so yun, natunghayan nyo guys yung nung healthy discussion ng dalawa. So balik tanaw tayo sa mga balita nung panahon na yon. Ito po.
Inaasahan namang mapapasagana pandalo ang produksyon ng palay sa bansa sa ilalim ng Administrasyong Duterte. Ipinahayag ito ni Agriculture Secretary Emmanuel Biñol kaugnay ng planong muling pagbuhayin at palakasin pa ang Masagana 99 na inilunsad ng yumaong dating Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos. Sa kanyang pagsasalita sa mga magsasaka sa Talavera, Nueva Ecija, sinabi ni Biñol na muli niyang ipakikilala sa susunod na pulong ng gabinete ang Masagana 99 bilang Masaganang Ani 200. Binigyan diin ng kalihim na naging matagumpay ang Masagana 99 sa ilalim ng Administrasyong Marcos at kaya lamang bumagsak ito ay dahil sa korupsyon. Niliwanag ni Piñol na sa implementasyon ng Masaganang Ani 200, nilalayong mapasagana ang produksyon ng palay ng hanggang 79 na kaban bawat ektarya ng sakahan. Sa pamamagitan nito, anya ay magiging matatag ang supply ng pagkain sa Pilipinas at hindi na kailangan pang dumepende sa ibang bansa.
And guys, so tunghayan natin bakit hindi mapurso-purso tong Masagana 99. Kasi maraming kaya bumagsak yan o nawala yung kasi gawa ng korupsyon. Napaka po niyang korupsyon na talaga. Yung korupsyon na yan, ewan ko ba, hanggang ngayon talagang parang hindi na mawawala yung korupsyon sa gobyerno. Kaya ang nagiging bagsakan ng problema, itong ating malilit na magsasaka. Sila ay nagsusumigasig na magsaka tapos kinukurap lang ng mga matataas na gobyerno. So tunghayan pa natin yung ibang balita guys. Kung bakit failure ang Masagana 99 noon. Tunghayan po natin guys. Ayun guys, pakinggan naman natin kung anong masasabi ni President Bongbong Marcos tungkol sa Masagana 99. Kasi ang mga balita ngayon parang hindi na Masagana 99. Gagawin na niyang Masagana 150. Okay, tingnan natin. Ibinago yung pangalan ng Masagana 99 na pinamunuan ng ating buting presidente, Ferdinand Marcos Sr. So, tunghayan natin kung ano yung masasabi niya dito.
Sinusulong ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos na ipatupad ang Masagana 150 at Masagana 200 rice programs bilang tugon sa krisis sa pagkain. Target nitong makapag-ani ng hanggang 200 kaba ng palay kada ektarya kung saan maaaring kumita ang mga magsasaka ng 50 to 70,000 pesos. Ang Masagana 150 at Masagana 200 ay ibinase sa Masagana 99 na programa noon ni dating Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Sr.
Masagana 150, Masagana 200. These are good plans that we have to put into place. Let's operationalize them already. Itong pinag-usapan natin first on the immediate short term supply for the rest of the country.
Pero sabi ng Bantay Bigas sa Thailand nga raw na isang rice exporting country, nasa 120 kaban per hectare lamang ang naaani. Kung short term ang usapan, sana raw bigyan ng ngayon ng subsidiya ang mga magsasaka habang planting season para dumami ang magtanim at aanihin.
Dapat tignan, i-analyze niya muna yung kapasidad ng ating agriculture nang sa ganun ay makapagplano siya ng maigi.
Huwag magpahuli sa mga
So, yun muna guys. Ang maibabalita natin sa inyo, aking mga viewers at subscriber tungkol dito sa Masagana 99. Hopefully, mag-succeed to kasi maganda to eh. Kaya lang, ang kalaban dito guys, korupsyon. Kaya yung ibang mga magsasaka, yun nga, bantulot silang sumuporta dito sa Masagana 150 at Masagana 200, ewan ko. Sana naman mapaganda na. Panalangin natin na mapaganda yung panukala ni sitting President Bongbong Marcos para na mapabuti na ang bawat isang Pilipino. So sa akin lang, susuportahan ko to kasi para sa ating mamamayang Pilipino to, para sa pagkain ng bawat isang Pilipino na magkaroon ng masaganang ani ang ating mga magsasaka. So yun lamang po guys. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pagtunghay o panonood ng aking YouTube channel at bibigyan ko pa kayo ng mga informative na mga nangyayari dito sa Pilipinas. Maraming salamat po guys. At laging tweet na sinasabi ni DIY KKB Informative, keep safe, God bless, and you have a great day. Subscribe na kayo guys. Thank you. Palaguin natin ang ating YouTube channel. So, salamat po. Sukran.